All right, so today what we're going to be doing is this is going to be a single pole switch. It's going to be a three-way switch. And we're going to go ahead and make this up right here. So we pre-stripped this wire here. And so we can just pull this one off. That's in a different video on how we did that. But we're not going to be able to do that for these other two because there are 3 wires and it's a little more difficult to do that. So anyways, we're going to get going. Take my box knife. About 1 inch into the box, I just run it down and I just hold my finger underneath. That's how I strip it. You might not be able to see it. I hold my finger underneath. If I come off the wire, it's not going to cut me, because my fingers are just going to move with it. Run straight down like that, and I can hold. Oops, I don't know if that was even in the video. Run straight down it like that. Anyways, let's get this other wire out of the way. Always pulling away from me. Well, kind of. So there's 2 ways once you have this in here. Obviously, you can just rip the paper out. We don't want any of that paper in there. This is the sheathing. So we're going to rip that paper out. And as far as the sheathing behind it, we can take our box knife, cut it out like that, where it cuts it. That's one way to do it. And frequently there will be a little bit extra paper. Just go in there, pull that out. The other way is if you have some diagonal cutters like this. Basically you can take these guys and go underneath there and cut it like that. That way is honestly easier, but you do have to have your dikes with you to do that. And I frequently don't. I mean, when I'm making up boxes, I generally don't need them for anything. Anyways, so we went ahead and took the sheeting off. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically designate what the wires are. So this wire that's on my left here is a three-way wire. So I wrote 3-way inside my box here. So I'm going to twist it around. These wires are called travelers. So I'm twisting those around. Then I'm going to bend them out of my way. Neutrals are going to be shared across the board. We're going to end up splitting this power into multiple powers. I'm going to push that in there a little ways. So we'll go ahead and just bend the power out of the way. We're going to leave our grounds in the middle at the moment. So this one over here, this black one is actually going to be constant hot out, and the red one is going to be a switch leg for our switched outlet. So we're going to push those both out of the way at the moment. But we do need to be aware of that. So I'm going to go ahead and do the ground. So this method, we want to junction this down to where we have 2 grounds, 1 for each. And so we're either cutting it and having 2 come out of a wire nut, or we're using something called a crimp sleeve. It's a little piece of copper that's hollow in the middle, I guess. And so it's just sleeves right on top of this. I'm going to slide it down to where I have a mark of where 6 inches is. I want 6 inches from where the wire comes in, or about 4 coming out of the box, maybe slightly less. I'm going to pinch it down with my, this is a crimp tool. I'm going to give it about 2 full turns. Maybe I'll do 1 more. 2 to 3 is generally where I'm at. And now, here's the tricky part. Depending on how many devices you have in your box, that's how many wires you want left. So I only want to cut 1 of these 3 wires back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half, basically pinching it back here, and then I'm just going to trim that 1 little wire. And so that way, if there's any reason I need it later, I can bend it back out and still connect to it. So now that it's like that, we're just going to grab it with this tool, because it's here, and it's already in my hands, and just shove it to the back of the box. We're going to take half of this, half of it meaning 1 of the grounds, putting it where it's going to come out for 1 of the switches, and the other one's going to be where the other switch is. So basically where 1 device is and the other. So we have grounds for both devices. Next, we want all of our neutrals connected. There are situations where you may be doing stuff where this white wire isn't a neutral, and so you'll do something different. This situation, these are all neutrals. So we're going to go ahead and measure 6 inches. Cut them. We're going to strip this the ends here, and then we're going to connect them with a connector. We're going to use a wire nut. I feel like it does a better job. So a couple things. If you this is 14 gauge wire. If you use something smaller that's, let's say, smaller than 14, would be like a 16 gauge. So if I use the mark on here that's 16 gauge, or if I was cutting 12 gauge wire and used a 14, the spot on here to cut the insulation off, and it cuts into my wire. When I tighten my wire nut, I've had it to where I've gone to like behind someone else, and I'll be tightening it, and all of a sudden I'll hear like a little snap sound, and it'll get easier to twist because it just cut it. Basically, it was weakened when somebody used the wrong size on it to strip it. So if that copper is damaged at all, it can snap in half on you. And I've had it happen a few times, and not very often at all, but something to be aware of, especially if you're not doing this very often, or if you're coming behind someone else that's already cut the wire. Like if you're replacing an outlet, things like that. All right, so we have 2 hots. We have our travelers and we have our switch leg for our switched outlet. So basically we need to take this and make 2 hots out of it. So what I'm going to need is a little bit more black wire. So we're going to get this down in a corner, get 6 inches, cut it. Now one of these is plenty long, the other one is not. So we're going to ditch the short one, and we're going to get one more. I'm going to go strip some more wire and get a second wire, because I'm going to need 2 of these wires to be decently long. So we have our 2 wires now. We're going to go ahead and strip the ends of all 4 of these. I got a box underneath me now, so we're just going to, hopefully this is in the camera, slight angle, little twist, comes right off. So easy a child could do it. How do I know that? Because I went and had kids strip wire at a, what do they call that? Like a little grade school job fair, and taught all the kids how to do it. And if you do it right, you could do it even if you're a little kid. If you're struggling with it, practice on a few scraps till you get it down, slight angle, and then as you pinch down, you just kind of rotate it, and it'll help push it right off for you and be a lot easier. There's a list on side of the wire nuts for how many wires of different sizes. Typically say on the box. Can fit underneath the wire nut. Don't go beyond what it says, because it won't be a safe connection. Anyways, so we have our 2 hots. We jumpered our 1 hot through as we did that. So basically we're going to twist these together, because these are 1 switch. We're going to wrap our ground around it to signify it's done, and it's going to help keep the ground out of the way later. And then we're going to wrap it around for this other one. So this, you may be saying, what the heck's going on here? I'm wrapping a hot around like I just did my ground. We're going to do the ground as well over here. Makes you feeling better. Basically, I'm wrapping it around like 1 or 2 turns to signify there's a difference between this black wire and these 2. So this is, I think they call this a common wire on the back. Let me look. This is a 3-way switch. So the black one up here says common. The 2 down here, let's see if they label them. They don't say, but they're what you would call travelers. So 1 common and 2 travelers. So the common is the odd man out, so I twist it around. So I know, hey, this is the odd man out. The travelers, I twist together by themselves, so that I know these 2 are both doing the same thing. And then I have my other 2 wires, which are for my switch up here, that I twist around each other and wrap so they're separate. All right, so once I get to this point, I want about 4 inches out of my box here. Cutting it. We're going to save one of these wires in case we need it later. Same here, 4 inches, cutting it. We don't need that. So now, some people will roll the wire. If you roll the wire and they come around with around the sheetrock, they can, and they have a, wow, the word. They have a tool to cut the sheetrock. We'll just go with that for now. I have one and I've done it. I just can't remember the name. So I don't roll it. I fold it. That way, if it gets cut, it's going to get cut here on the bottom or right here at the top. and I have plenty of wire left. If I roll it and it gets cut on the bottom, my wires literally, I'm going to be stuck with not even 4 inches inside the box, let alone outside. How do I know that? Because I've seen people do it lots of times. Anyways, so I fold mine in, I don't roll it. Okay, so that's making up that box. All right, so we have 3-way switch and a what should be called a single toggle switch. So there's no 2-way switch. It's a single toggle or a 3-way. So also 4 ways. So this basically has 2 travelers and a common. And this guy on this side just has the 2 wires here, our 3-way and our single pole switch. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use the stab ends on this because it's quicker. And so basically we still need to wrap the ground. We're gonna use the little slot. God, I've been failing on this every time. It's all right. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this around. So this is all set up now to wrap around the ground screw on both sides, and we're gonna go and strip the rest of these wires. So there's a strip gauge on the back that is only for stabbing in wires in the back. It's all it's for. But that's what we're doing, so we're gonna match it. So we're gonna go ahead and strip this to match it. If you don't strip enough, what will happen is your wire won't have a good connection, and it may even start arcing, and it may melt your switch. Probably won't start a fire, but it's always a possibility. Don't say I didn't warn you. All right. So let's go ahead and get our 3-way here. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten this ground up here. Okay, so that started moving when I was doing it. So that happened because I didn't do a very good job earlier. And that's all right. We'll go ahead and retwist this. You can use needle nose. Problem is if you don't go far enough down the needle nose, you don't get it tight enough. So I went ahead and made this smaller. And so I'm always pulling on this just so you're aware so that these don't come out whenever I'm doing screws. And if I can, I'll use my 2 fingers here to pull that way as the rest of my hand pulls this way. So they're pulling them in 2 different directions. So if I don't get enough pressure on there, what happened earlier will frequently happen, which is it'll start to come out. So I'll move this to make sure it's not loose. As long as it's not loose, I want to take my common wire. It's a 3-way. Common wire is right here. It's going to go right inside my spot where the black screw is, because the black screw is by itself, and that's the common. Then I have 2 left over. We're going to go and pop these in over here. They're both travelers. So your common is always going to be a power or a switch leg. That's all it can be. Your common is a power or a switch leg. All right. Let's go ahead and make up the other switch, which is for our switched outlet in this situation. So I'm going to wrap that around there. I'm going to pull against it to get pressure. That way my ground doesn't come out. I did a better job on this one, which is great because I don't want to fail twice. And so then it doesn't matter what side this goes on when you're making up your switch. Pop those guys in there. And last but not least, I like to tighten these down. So you can either hand tighten them down if that's where you're at, or I don't use this to tighten onto wire, but I just do it a little bit of an angle so it stops when it gets to the bottom. So my drill, I just put it at a slight angle because I don't want it to continue tightening. I'm just trying to get these out of the way so that way if I have a metal box or whatever, those screws aren't sticking out. So next step here, we're just going to shove this in one way, the other way, and then that one's ready. So I don't want these screws to be pulling the device in. That's why I did what I did first, and I want it to sit straight. So that guy's done. We're going to do the same thing over here. And this one, when I started pushing it, this ground started getting in my way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shove it out of the way with it basically all the way in the box. So that way I know it's not going to bend back and try to hit the side of my screw terminal. Happens more than you'd think. I've gone to plenty of houses and had to fix things after the fact because somebody installed it and that ground at some point just kind of wiggled a little bit and it was almost touching when they installed it, but then it was touching later. So I'm pushing this in with my hand. That way it's not the screw tightening it. The screw is just holding it in. That's all the screw is doing. It's not pushing it in. I don't want to strip my screws. Anyways, just a heads up. If you can tell, this wiggles a little bit. This wiggles a little bit on the bottom. This one down here also wiggles. I immediately noticed the top didn't wiggle as much as I wanted. So basically, what you can do is just grab your drill and just move it a half turn. So I always do this on basically every single switch and almost every single outlet. And you might be asking yourself, Dave, why do you do that? Well, the reason I do that is because when I put a cover plate on, I'm going to put a level on the side of the cover plate, or a minimum eyeball it to make sure it's level. And if these are loose, you can wiggle it slightly and get it to where these fit where they're supposed to in the cover plate, as well as getting the cover plate level. So it's just a good practice to do to make sure stuff sits level. So our switched outlet with our switch, we're not going to mess with our three-way yet because we've got to make up the rest of that. So we're going to move on. Feel free to watch some of the other videos. If you have any questions, maybe something I overlooked or you're curious about, I'm more than happy to make a video for you. Thanks so much.